I wasn't really concerned about Daniel Jones' fibula until that scramble yesterday, which looked like a designed run where Daniel just kind of galloped onto the sidelines for a first down. So that was a good thing. Then today, talking to Shane Steichen, his media availability on Mondays, always via Zoom, Stephen Holder asked him about that fibula, and he neglected or declined to provide any kind of details whatsoever about it. And so now I'm a little bit concerned because a fibula is a bone. And so a bone, either you got a bone bruise or you got a crack. And if you got a crack, I've had a cracked fibula. That did not look like a cracked fibula, because if you got a cracked fibula, it hurts to move on it. And doing that would be problematic for him in a way that we didn't see necessarily as he moved around yesterday. So is it a bone bruise? What the hell is this thing? And why aren't they talking about it? I don't know. I guess it doesn't do them any good to talk about it, because then the Houston Texans would know what you got in Daniel Jones is kind of a wounded animal. And wounded animals, you know what happens to wounded animals, right? But this is not going to be lost on them. They're not going to say, oh, well, I guess it's no big deal because we're not getting any details. I don't know. I always think the subterfuge that comes from a head coach many times, 95% of the time, is just unnecessary. So we'll see what happens with Daniel Jones moving forward. But he didn't look too terribly good yesterday, did he? He did make some good throws. He stepped into that throw real nicely. That throw to Ogletree, had a really nice ball to Pierce. Wide open, hit him in stride. That was good. Had a nice couple of throws to Pittman. We're going to talk about the Colts. And we're going to talk about some questions that are being asked today, because the Colts lost to the best franchise in the AFC at their place in overtime by 3 points. There is a whole lot of, if they had won a few weeks ago, right, that game prior to the Falcons game, if they had won that game against the Steelers, this wouldn't be a huge question, but they lost that game to the Steelers. They almost lost that game to the Falcons, and they did lose that game yesterday to the Chiefs. And so now you got the Texans coming to Indianapolis. Huge game. Texans just 2 games behind the Colts. And if somehow, some way, the Texans beat the Colts this Sunday, all of a sudden that's 1 game. And the Jaguars, with a win this weekend, would all of a sudden be tied atop the AFC South if the Colts get beat by the Texans. So whatever grace the Indianapolis Colts earned by starting the season 7-1, it's gone. And now you got to go play. And now you got to go compete. And you got to win. So we'll talk about that. What's going on with Ward? He got worked all game. I don't think he got worked. I think he was okay. We'll see. I don't think it was great, but Mooney hadn't played in a while, so there's that. Barstow Media says another thing Shane does that's unnecessary, trying to get the D to jump on 4th down. I've yet to see him make it work, and it just feels like a waste until it doesn't. And you lose nothing in doing it in the first half. There's no reason not to do it. And sometimes they do snap the football in that situation. So, the defense, maybe it lulls a team to sleep, a team down the road where they think, oh, they're not going to snap it. They're just, screwing around with us, trying to draw us off sides. And so maybe they're not, I don't know. Sometimes weird things happen in football, and it doesn't bother me at all that it happens. I don't think that it was a waste of time. And I know you're not saying that it was a game-changing moment. I get that. We're going to talk a lot about the Colts, but we're also going to talk, hey, Archie Miller lost today. Rhode Island. It was on TV. It was on ESPN2. I'm home at noon. I turn it on. There's Archie Miller getting his brakes beat off by Towson. What a glorious way to start an afternoon that was today. I couldn't have been happier to watch Archie Miller lose and get really upset in doing it. Seems very sweaty still, a lot of clapping. Hung the L. Let's go. Whoever's playing Rhode Island. whoever's playing, the Sacramento Kings. And if Tom Crean coaches again, I'll root for Tom Crean. I got to tell you the truth. I'm over Tom Crean. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Hey, Pacers tonight against the Pistons, all right? I know it makes no sense. Pistons are 14-2. Pacers are 2-14. Makes no sense that the Pacers could even be in this game with Toppin hurt, with Neesmith hurt, and going to be hurt for a while. Furphy hurt, out. Pacers going to win this game. I'm calling it right now. All right, and you know what? We're going to give, we got 4 jerseys here autographed by a variety of Indianapolis Colts, and we are going to give one away. 3 of these, let me see if maybe all 4. All 4 of these Super Bowl champion Colts from that ilk. How about that? We will do it via the fabulous prize wheel. We'll spin it and just see who comes up. Just so you know, this is random. The blue, and it is James Fordyce 3. James Fordyce 3. So James Fordyce 3, you know your ticket's on the wheel. That's nice. We will tell you which of these jerseys we're going to give away with the giant magical wooden die. Some of these have 2 cards on them, 1 through 6 of hearts, ace through 6 of hearts. We don't really call it a 1 of hearts, do we? Hey, I've got 3 1s. Is that good? But we'll see. So you have a better chance of winning the Brackett or the Dominic Rhodes than either of the other 2. How about that? This is Inside Indiana Sports Now for Monday, November 24th, 2025, brought to you by the great people at YouTube TV. YouTube TV, they got you covered. They got everything on right now. You got a $20 credit if you stuck with them. And if you didn't, I've got $15, a $15 discount for you that I will put the link to immediately following this live, so it's there for people who watch it recorded. You want to switch to YouTube TV, do it with that link. All right, you got to become a member. Membership has its privileges, and one of the privileges, our little Coffee with Kent, we're now calling it, based upon a viewer suggestion, Saturday mornings. Can't wait. Usually around 9 in the morning. I don't guarantee 9 in the morning. Could be 10. I don't wake up special to do it. Saturdays, I kind of sleep in, but I almost never last beyond 8. So, but the bucket game is this Friday. So Saturday this week might be a little bit late. Kent, should we really worry about Houston's defense or them in general? Yes. Anderson, Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter, they are really, 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 really good. They are 2 of the best edges in the National Football League, not named Myles Garrett. Those 2 guys can wreck your day. So, yes. And that secondary is pretty damn good, too. So, you got to be on your P's and Q's, and you got to play hard and well, all right, to beat the Houston Texans. Yes, you should be worried about the Houston Texans and their defense. 100% worry. Sometimes it's kind of Alfred E. Newman, what, me worry? This time it's we worry. And again, like with every loss, the need to win the next game mounts, right? So you've lost to the Steelers, then you beat the Falcons in a kind of weird game in Germany in overtime. Then you lose in overtime to the Chiefs at Arrowhead. None of that means a damn thing unless you chase those losses with more losses. Then you got a problem. What you need to do in order to get your ticket up on this prize wheel, you need to subscribe. So subscribe. It's cost-free. You don't have to pay nothing. And then every Monday, all you have to do to enter, you got to be a subscriber to be eligible, but you use the phrase that pays. And the phrase that pays, I want you to, beginning today, and you can do this once per show, and we'll find a prize for a person who gets it exactly right. All right? You got to guess the score of this weekend's game. How about that? But the game you need to choose first, you need to get a prediction for the bucket game. on Friday night. All right? So if you can guess the bucket game correctly, you're going to get some kind of a prize, maybe an autographed book. I'll decide what the prize is. It's dealer's choice for the prize. All you have to do is guess what the score is going to be. That counts as your entry for next Monday's drawing. And today's drawing, we've already got the tickets up there, but become a subscriber in order to be eligible to win. Okay, smash that like button. And if you want to make a donation, no big whoop, but please include a comment or a question that elevates the level of discourse on the channel. All right, I've got questions that are being asked. You know, we go through all the comments and I answer as many as I possibly can, which is almost every morning. I get to the morning ones. Afternoon ones, a little bit more difficult because I'm preparing for the next day's work, both the radio show and the YouTube work. But so here's what some people are saying, and it's Panic Button Monday, right? Daniel Jones reverted to the mean. That's what they say. We knew he was going to be this. We knew when we got him from the Giants, eventually he was going to show his true colors, and he was going to crap all over our chances to go to the playoffs and win in the playoffs. Well, here's the counter to that. Daniel Jones yesterday was 19-31, which isn't shabby, for 181 yards, which is not tremendous, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, a passer rating of 99. When that happens, when he puts up numbers like that, you're going to win more than you lose. 5.8 yards per attempt, that is not the glory zone, right? But the Chiefs are the Kings until they are not. And yesterday, Mahomes decided to get the job done. That team they had their backs against the wall at 5-5. They absolutely had to have a win. And the Colts did not slam the door on the Chiefs in order to guarantee that they were going to be able to get that win. And that cost them. You got a chance to put them away as they did in the third quarter. 2 different shots at touchdowns, and the Colts came away with 3. That's 8 points. That's an 8-point difference. They get those into the end zone instead of kicking a field goal. You're sitting at 28, and there's no way that the Chiefs come back from 19 down. Jonathan Taylor needs the ball more than 18 times. 16 carries, 2 passes, a third pass attempt that was just outside Jonathan Taylor's reach. Here's the counter. Minus the 27-yard run, which was really sweet and nice and almost a house call, Taylor had 39 yards on 17 touches. So that includes the 8 yards receiving. Just rushing, 15 for 31. You want to keep ramming your head into that wall on the road against the Chiefs? I don't think so. I asked that question mainly because I felt that people were making too big a deal about a couple of wins from the Texans. They don't seem that good. Maybe I was wrong. Offensively, they're not tremendous. Defensively, they are among the best in the NFL, if not the best in the NFL. So I'm not worried about them scoring 35 points, but I am worried about the Colts' ability to score 25. And it seems like that's about the sweet spot. Colts score 20, they get beat. All 3 of their losses, they've scored 20 points in those games. The other games, they've scored 29 or more. You got to get on the board and you got to score. And that's why I thought the Colts should have gone for it on 4th down twice. Now, that's our next kind of Panic Button Monday position. 4th and 3 from their own 40. The Colts should have gone for it. Steichen elected to punt. He had to know more points were a must. Here's the counter. The Chiefs fair caught that on their own 12. There was a sack, incompletion, and a loss of 1, a sack, then an incompletion, and then a punt. And the Colts netted 9 yards to the positive on that exchange. Then, 4th and 4, with 4:52 left, at the Chiefs' 45, they punted again. Should have gone for it. The counter is see above, right? Steichen had every right to believe that Rigo was going to pin him back, which he did. The ball was received on the 11. Then there's a holding call, so it's like on the 5.5 or 6. They got to go like 94 yards. They went far enough to kick that game-tying field goal. It was 2017 at the time. You have got to put them away when you've got the chance. A reasonable a first down when you're on the Chiefs' 49, you get that first down at the 45, you're a first down away from being inside Michael Badgley's field goal range. With a field goal, it would be a touchdown to beat you. And if you can get 2 first downs, you know what? You can diminish what the Chiefs have left on that clock to go get points. You had a chance to put them away, and you didn't take it. And Shane Steichen said to the media today, he did it by gut more than anything else. And it makes a little bit of sense because what happened the previous defensive possession is that the Colts got it right back. They forced a 3-and-out, Chiefs punted, and the Colts got it in better field position than they had it before. Sadly, that did not occur this time. All right. I think they should have gone for it. I would have gone for it both times. Like at some point, you gotta throw your chips in the middle and say, "Hey, beat me." You know what I mean? I'm not gonna put it on my defense. I'm gonna put it on the offense. I got the best offense in the NFL running the football. I got the best offense in the NFL in a bunch of different categories, or at least until yesterday, I had the best offense in the NFL. I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to run it up your ass. That's what I'm going to do. I pull that team aside. I'm like, here it is. You want to run the damn ball? We're going to run the damn ball. We got 4 yards to get or we got 3 yards to get. We're going to run it. We're going to shove it up their ass, and we're going to walk out of here winners. Not what happened. We said, yeah, we're going to punt, and we're going to put it in the hands of our defense. Bah! Are the Colts in trouble? Hey, Colts are always in trouble until they're not, and that goes for every team in the NFL. Right now, what are the Bears? The Bears are like 8-3. I don't think the Bears make the playoffs. The Colts have got to have split these next 2 games. Must split these next 2. And the second of the 2, that's at Jacksonville, and the Colts haven't won at Jacksonville since 2014. It's been 11 years. They're due. All right? And if you win both, you're going to win the AFC South. If you lose both, I think you're dead. I don't think you got a chance. I think you're going to be a dead team walking at 8-5. You cannot lose both these games. Because judging from the Colts' last 4 years, you don't want to go into must-win games in December, right? Let's get this going right now. Now, the Bears are a different issue. Like I said, I don't think they make the playoffs. This team, you better get urgent with your behavior and with your preparation, and you better get urgent right now. It's not a bad thing necessarily to have to fight your way into the playoffs. Evan, Almighty Evan, are you even a Colts fan? Well, who knows? We don't have a litmus test for people here. They can Colts losing in Jacksonville. You know what? I worry about that. I don't think Evan's wrong to worry about it. All right, here is another question, another poser for you. Have we settled on Jones as the definitive franchise quarterback moving forward? No, we have not. A season is not made in 10 games. And the last 3 weeks, Daniel Jones has not been great. I don't know what the fibula has to do with that, but he hadn't been great the last 3 games. And he's got to be great coming down the stretch. If you can't count on him to be great, you cannot count on him to help you win a Super Bowl. And if you can't win a Super Bowl with a quarterback, what the hell is the point, right? I get the concern of Colts fans, but they haven't lost to Jacksonville in Jacksonville until they do. But they have in 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's been a long time coming, right? However, what did we say before the season started? Like the Colts hadn't won their first 2 games. Did they win? They won their first 2. They hadn't done that since 2009. So this is a year that we kind of reversed the curse a number of times. let's not conflate regular season success with postseason magic. And we don't know where Daniel Jones is as a postseason guy, right? Patrick Mahomes, we saw yesterday what Patrick Mahomes does when his back's up against a wall. Your back is up against the wall at all times in the playoffs. So there you go. Pacers. Hoosiers certain to be number 2 in the college football playoff rankings when those are released tomorrow night. Whether at Bloomington North, not the high school, but the college, which is Purdue. I think the Hoosiers have turned Ross-Ade Stadium into Bloomington North, Memorial Stadium North. The weather is partly cloudy, high of 34. So by the time they kick off at 7:30, might be about 31 degrees. Ay. That's kind of fun. Some guys dig playing in the cold. Some guys do not. I hope the Hoosiers do. Because if they don't, if they're cold and Purdue comes out with a bit of an edge, you never know what could happen. You've got to win this game. Got to win this game. Pacers tonight against Detroit. Karis LeVert and Jaden Ivey, they are game-time decisions. Pacers, some have asked. Toppin, he's out until like February. Neesmith, out for a while. Furphy out for a while. Cam Jones out for a while. Quentin Jackson out for a while. Those 5 guys not playing. You're going to miss Toppin and Neesmith until they're back. DJ wasn't great in the fourth quarter. Wasn't entirely on him. KC blitzed on almost every down. Offensive line didn't protect well enough. Coaches didn't plan blocking well enough. All are at fault. Yeah, I'd agree with that. But you got to be able to, answer a blitz, either with extra blockers who pick up the extra guys, or you got to figure out where that blitz is coming from and throw over the top of it, right? Throw beyond it, and that guy coming on the blitz isn't there to tackle anybody. You got to be able to read it, respond to it, and deliver based upon that. And Daniel Jones didn't do it. And he's got to be able to do it. Because you're going to face this same crap again and again and again and again and again until you do figure it out. Maybe it's a benefit to the Colts that this is coming in waves, because they will eventually figure out how to attack it. Or they're not going to the playoffs. 8-3 not going to the playoffs, that's damn near impossible. They were 8-2. 8-2 goes to the playoffs. I think they got to win 2 more games. And I think they will. I think they'll go 3-3 over the course of the last 6. I'm not really worried about it. Rhode Island lost to Towson today, 62-55, which means Archie Miller lost. And that means in Indiana, it's a day to celebrate. We going sizzling. All right. Before we find out who we're giving something away to, let's use the magic prize die, which, as you can see, has all of the numbers on the wood exactly where they are supposed to be. The 3 and the 4 are on opposite sides, the 2 and the 5, and the 1 and the 6 opposite sides as well. We roll the die, and we see that it's a 5, and a 5 corresponds with which prize? Oh, there it is. Well, a rare find. It is a Dominic Rhodes autographed jersey. Dominic Rhodes, one of the fine running backs in the annals of the Indianapolis Colts. We will take the 5 and put it on that jersey, and take the ace and put it on another jersey, so that we're ahead of the game for next week. All right, who wins the Dominic Rhodes autographed jersey? We turn to the fabulous prize wheel, give it a spin, and off we go. Yeah, those penalties were bad, but the officiating team was crap all the way around. They were crap all the way around. I don't think the Colts or the Chiefs really got an advantage yesterday. It comes out on blue again. Is it that blue? It is not. It's the other blue. There, you can see there are 2 blues, 2 greens, 2 dark blues, 2 yellows, and 2 reds. 10 spots. All right, and who wins? Claire K. Robert, either Rober or Ruber, 4644. As you can see, I did not really close the U It may be an O. If your name's Claire, I don't think I got a lot of viewers named Claire. So, Claire, if you're the winner, you need to DM me your name and address via X. Do that, and I will get this in the mail post-haste. I bought envelopes today. We're all good to go. All I got to do is slap your address on it, put the jersey in it, and mail it, which I do almost every day. I sent out a couple of more books today to some new members, and off we go. We will talk to you tomorrow morning. I don't think we have 8 wins at this point in the season with AR at starting quarterback. We don't know. We might not. Here's the thing that could happen with Daniel Jones. They could franchise Daniel Jones this coming year. They'd have to pay him like $42 million, something like that, maybe up to 45. Depends on, I think, the average annual salary of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. And you try to develop Anthony Richardson next year again and see if he the light goes on and he stops, being hit in the head by equipment and breaking his orbital bone. We'll see if that winds up happening. When Chris Ballard says, hey, you know what, we got to be patient, I take him at his word. That means not that he should be patient, but that he plans to be patient. There you go. That's a lot of money, like 42. Yes, $45 million a year. DJ ain't worth that unless we go to the Super Bowl. Well, you know what? Could you go to the playoffs with Riley Leonard? No. Are you going to be able to use a first-round pick over the next 2 years to somehow get a quarterback who's going to be able to take you there? No. So you're not going to be able to put together a package of draft picks in order to get a quarterback. I don't know how you go out and get a Super Bowl potential quarterback if you don't already have him in-house. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about that and a lot of time talking about the Texans. Tomorrow is Two Bell Tuesday. We got Optimism Wednesday coming up. Thanksgiving Thursday. Why not? Remember what the expectations were. That's true too. Fireman Jeff, you're 100% right. My expectation was 8-9, 9-8, because that's kind of what this team is. We'll see if I shot too low or they got to prove it, right? 6 games left. I'll say DJ has the rest of the season to prove he's worth that kind of money. Yep. Can you get a second rounder? They've got a quarterback in the second round. Well, you can, but he's unlikely to be a Super Bowl guy. You know, you're not going to find Purdy every day, although he was Mr. Irrelevant, right? We'll see. That's all good questions. We will endeavor to answer them moving forward, and we'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Breakfast with Kent. Absolutely.